This is Rosemary Massaro, Craft with Ro, and thanks for joining me for my June Craft Along class. Each month I do a Craft Along, and this month we are focusing on the Shaded Petals kit. Now, I normally don't do a Craft Along with a kit. However, when I created this, I'm like, gosh, there's so many better ways to recreate this kit, and I wanted to share those tips and tricks with you. So in your kit, I'm going to show you the cards that you're going to be making. So here are the 3 cards that you're going to be creating, right? And in your kit, you received all the card bases. You received coordinating envelopes. You also received a full package of embellishments. You received sheets with punch dies. So they're die cuts that you just punch out. And you received 2 ink spots, Highland Heather and Calypso Coral. If you purchase the kit, and you can purchase the kit, and you'll make 3 kits, 3 cards of each, what they sent you in the kit was these daubers. Well, as I was creating, I'm going to share with you, I wasn't liking the effect that these daubers were putting on my flowers. So that's why I offered you and provided you with 2. Yours are the mini brushes. They're slightly a little bit smaller than this. But you also received 2 blending brushes in your kit. In addition, you received the kind of like instruction guide. And I shared them with you. I don't have one to share with you. So, and there weren't any left after I created and mailed out all these kits. But I wanted to share that with you and put that in your class as well, so you kind of know what pieces go together. And I'm going to give you some ideas and tips and tricks on knowing what pieces go together as well. So I don't know what order they are in your kit. So we're just going to start with 1, and then we'll move on to the other 2. So this is the first one that we're going to recreate. And as you guys can see, I started to use the daubers on here, on these die cut pieces, and I just didn't like the blotchy effect that it gave. So I decided, as I went forward, to use the blending brush on this kit, on these cards, to decorate and color in these petals. So here is the first kit card, and you are going to make sure that you cut out or punch out all these pieces. I have them in my envelope here. So you're going to have a medium-sized Calypso Coral. You're going to have a large white. You're going to have a medium white. And I believe I have an extra piece here, which I was missing, so now I know where it is. We have the little gold dots, right? So if you want, probably the best thing to do is to punch these all out and put them in coordinating piles. And then we have our stems and our sentiment, along with our little yellow centered piece. So what I want to suggest that you guys do is create your blending, and we're going to take this and do our Calypso Coral. So what I want to share with you is how you know the pieces coordinate together is in the center of this. I'm going to bring this up really, really close to you guys. You can see a little punched out center. And on the same here, this one's not punched out yet, but I'm going to punch it out. So on this particular card, you know that these centers are matched up. And same with this. It has the same type of keyhole lock type of image in there. So that's how you know what goes together. So we're going to take our blending brush, and I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper that I have off to the side here, and I'm just going to dab off on it because I don't want that blotchy look. And quite honestly, I'm just going to randomly shade in the edge of the petals. I'm going to actually do the same on this little small piece right here. Move that little guy out of the way. And as you can see, my brush is a little bit bigger. That's why I offered you the smaller brushes. And what did I just do with that extra piece that I just said I was missing? I wasn't missing it or wasn't extra. This is the other larger Calypso Coral punch out. And I am just shading these in as well. Just giving them a little bit more color and dimension, right? So now, to close that up, we're going to take our card base. I'm going to clean that up so it doesn't get all over the back side of my cards. Almost didn't save that. All right. So we're going to take your card base and we're going to start putting this together. So this is taking the large white and you're taking the large Calypso Coral. And the best way that I can explain this to you is to take those two keyholes and to match them up. So we're going to put a glue dot. If you've used previous card kits before, you'll probably have a ton of these left over. So I just use these. I'm going to place that in the center there. Oops. Lift that off. And we're going to line this up to mirror that keyhole right there. And then on this particular one, we're going to just put a glue dot right on the back here. There we go. And we're going to cover that little keyhole up right there. And then we're going to do the same with this, except I forgot to color this one in. Silly me. Oops. Now, this does not require you to use a dimensional, but we're going to put some pop to this. Let's get this one colored, because I failed to do so. But I mean, the ink stays on your, and it lasts quite a bit. So we're just going to try to bring some darker color on some of the petals. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a glue dot, line it up in the center here. Mirror that up just like that. So it's great because I love that they did that. Oops. Totally lost my glue dot there. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back of here. And then I'm going to put my glue dot on. And we're going to line that up again. And then on here we have that little gold centerpiece, gold foil. And because this is so sticky here, I just have to add that right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my large flower, which I could have sworn I just put a dimensional. Oh no, I didn't. That was the other one. Silly me. It already feels like a whole day's gone by. And it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So now we're going to add that right here. I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm just going to use my dry adhesive. We're going to tuck that right underneath. add my dimensional here. We're going to tack that. And then we're going to put some adhesive on the back of here. Or you can use your glue dots. And then we're going to pop this sentiment up. Happy birthday. Now, your sheet should have a whole bunch of different languages on there. So if you know anybody that's French or German, feel free to share the leftovers sentiments with them. And I'm just going to put a mini dimensional there. A mini dimensional there. Now, I showed you my other card that I did with the Daubers. And then I'm going to, oops, like where'd it go? And then I'm going to show you this card that we just did with the blending brush. And you tell me if you definitely see the difference or not. Make sure I go straight. Right? Do you tell the difference? I mean, come on, seriously, tell me which one you like better, right? I so like the softer blend on here. So that is card 1. And we're going to put our embellishments on here. Now, you can go a couple different ways, right? Here, I just put the embellishments down towards the sentiment. But here, I think I'm going to go with putting some embellishments right in the center of that flower. Right? And I can take a littler one, put that right there, right? And then we can still put some more sentiment embellishments right towards the bottom there as well. You have a full pack of embellishments, you should not have a problem at all. I'm going to hold off because as you can see, I'm using quite a bit already, and I want to make sure I have enough for my other cards. All right, so that is card number 1. And aren't these envelopes so pretty? It's nice to have a nice coordinated envelope, right? All right, card number 2 is our yellow featured card, right? Again, you got all these little dies and you should have them separated in separate piles. Now this one has quite a bit of blending to do. And I'm going to make sure I have my dots, right? You're going to grab your gold foiled polka dot sheet, your scalloped piece, your flower stem, your sentiment, grab our flowers, and all our little gold foil centerpieces. We're going to put that card base aside and we're going to, actually, I lied. We're going to take our card base first and we are going to adhere our gold foil background, polka dotted background. Right. We're going to center that right in the middle there. I'm going to see if I can close in a little bit more. There you go. And then we are going to add our scallops. And again, I'm going to take my mini dimensionals. Come on. And we are just going to place them randomly around the outside. And I can tell you that I did this on one of my cards, and I'm going to tell you the best way to position this on here. Right? So as you can see, I didn't put any dimensionals right towards the bottom here because we want to be able to tuck our flower stems underneath. So I'm avoiding that because my first one, I stuck it down with the dimensional right at the bottom at the center, and I could not get my stem to go towards the bottom or to tuck out because the dimensional was right in the way. We're just going to center that right there. And then we can now do some additional blending. So here we have, now here, as you can see, we still have that keyhole, but it's a little narrower. It's kind of tricky that they do that, right? So these are going to get lined up like that. So I'm going to put my glue dot. Right there. We're going to peel that off. And we're going to line that up as best as we can to cover that hole right there. All right, so that's your first card. Right. Then we have another yellow. And let's see here. We've got large, medium, large. And I think I messed up because I don't want two of the same. Let's see here. So that smaller one is going to go on the smaller one. So this is going to go lined up on here. The medium I get to the large, the medium to the large, and then the smaller one to the baby one. How's that sound? I'm going to have all these little glue dot things everywhere. I find them in the laundry. I find them in different rooms. So again, we're going to take that little keyhole and we're going to line it up so that you have a perfect match. All right, so we have our stem, right? And now we're going to do some blending here. So we have this that's going to go with this. We have this that's going to go with this. Now, as you can see in my picture here, you may have an extra one of these little flower petals. So somebody got an extra one when I was breaking up my kits. So I'm going to just avoid that spot right there. But just so you guys know, if you have that extra piece, go ahead and put that through, layer it. I do not have it left. But one of you guys got it. Again, we're going to layer this on top here. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to do my blending. Silly me. So again, we're going to take the Calypso Coral. Grab my little scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to softly go around the edges. Now you can make these as dark and as intense in color as you want. I'm choosing not to. I want to go with a lighter shade. But the more pressure that you put on your blending brush, the darker the color will appear. So like, as I'm showing you right there, but I'm going to go lighter. And I'm just going to go right around my edges. All right, so we have that one. We can actually go with a little bit of color right on top here. I'm just dabbing it. Not sure what I just did with my other coral piece, but oh, here it is. Again, I'm just going to lightly put some color on the center of that. And it just gives it more depth. All right, so continue our building. I'm going to put, first of all, I am going to put a dimensional on the back. Oops, not that one. I want my mini dimensionals. And then I'm going to put my glue dot right in the center there. We're going to build that there. Punch out this little centerpiece. We don't need that. We're going to put a mini dimensional on the back there. Add my little glue dot. And again, like I said, one of these can have a third layer, but you're going to see that this is going to look, especially once we put our embellishments on, it's going to look just as pretty. And then we have, get these little pieces out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's supposed to be 5. I did count 5 when I started out. And I'm sure it might be sitting right in front of me and I don't see it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we got them. All right, so now we're going to take our card base and we're just going to start doing some layering here. We're going to put our little gold centerpieces in. That's one. And get 2. Now, if you don't have tweezers, a pickup tool works wonders with peeling off your glue dots. And 2 more we have to do. Fun, simple card cut, but I have to tell you, I had to be able to share these tips and tricks with you. I always create the kits, and if I see it with some better options, because most of us who have, I mean, we have these extra supplies right at our hands to be able to recreate. But if you didn't, that's why I wanted to make sure you had the blending brushes and it was included in your kit. Let's see here. It looks like we're going to put, well, I'm going to start off with one of these in the center, and then we're going to tuck around that. And I'm just using my mini dimensionals to pop it up because this border is popped up. And just slide that underneath. Get it positioned where you want it. And go with this one under here. Again, remember my pieces may be a little bit different because as I was breaking up these kits for you all, somehow my pieces went missing, basically. But you guys should have more than enough because I gave you full sheets of everything. We're going to tuck that in. I want that longer piece out this way. And one last poppet. And we're going to put some adhesive. And this is going to get tucked under here. So before I adhere it down, I'm going to put that so it's coming out and line it right up like so. How pretty is that? And we're going to put our thank you on here. And because it's going to be laying on here and here, I don't have to use dimensionals. I'm just going to use my adhesive, or you can use glue dots. And we're going to just line that up to be pretty straight right there. And that is card number 2. Oops, I just realized I'm not in the camera. That is card number 2. All right, last card. We have all our accent pieces. You're going to have your gold polka dotted. You're going to have your purple card base. You're going to have a rectangle scallop piece. And we got our flowers here and our little yellow centered pieces here. So this is the card we're going to be recreating. Let's get our blending done first. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Got my sentiment. Our scalloped piece. Right? All right, let's do some blending. So here's where the Highland Heather comes in play. So you're going to use your other blending brush. Right? We're going to dab some ink on that. And I'm going to offset it on the side. And I am just lightly going around the edges again. Now, if you want a deeper color, just go a little bit, put a little bit more pressure on your blending brush, like I just did there. And we're going to go on this piece as well. Now, if you notice this, the center pieces are shaped as an ornament, kind of, not like a keyhole lock. So that is how you know which ones are going with which flowers, which was very, very confusing to me when I was recreating these. All right, so we got one of these is going to be Calypso Coral. So we're going to go with this, this, and this. It's going to be Calypso Coral. Let's see what we have here. We got one more in Highland. All right, I might have just solved my mystery. All right, so we know that's going to be our Calypso coral. We're going to push that aside. Here, we're going to take one of these. So let's do our larger ones. We have this and this. And this. We have purple. We're going to line that up. Purple. That's going to be one. And then here, all of these are going to get colored in with our Highland Heather. So we got all of those shaded. And on here, what I think I'm going to do is go a little bit darker on my back leaf and get lighter as I move up. But you guys obviously can blend to your perfection. So here I'm going to go a little bit lighter. And here I'm going to go soft on the side. I'm really going to go dark on the center. And with your smaller brushes, you can do that, because this is going to be our top one. So again, I'm going to just take the top of my brush and try to go pretty dark in the center. All right, so we have our Highland Heather all inked up, blended, move that aside, and now we're going to do our Calypso Coral. Love these colors together. And here we're just going to, again, lightly blend around the edges. I'm not worried about really coloring the center as much as because the other layer of petals is going to kind of cover that. And on the top part here, I really want to make sure that I get some really nice color. Oops. That's not a smart move. Did you see me do that? I put my finger right in the ink pad. Open that up. All right, we can move our scrap off to the side and we can start building our card. So you're going to take your card base, and the first thing we want to do is put our polka dot, gold foil polka dot. We're going to center that. Right in the middle of our card there. And we're going to take our scalloped piece and we're going to put dimensionals. We're going to create some pop to this. I'm pretty sure the directions don't include, you can just use your adhesive, but I wanted to add it just a little bit more dimension to our card here. All right. Sometimes these tops come off so easy, and sometimes they just want to give you a challenge. Okay. Oops. All right, so we got our center here. We're gonna line this up right around the edge of our, and now we can add our pretty flowers, right? So we're just gonna move that up. I know it's slightly out of the camera for you, but we're gonna add our flowers here. We're gonna create our flowers layers. Again, I'm gonna take my dimensional first and put it on the back. Don't take the seal off. And then we're going to take our glue dot. We're going to put that in the center there. We're going to line up these two ornament holes so that they mirror up perfectly. Creates the perfect petal. We're gonna that's funny. Like, where'd it go? And then we're gonna line that up right there. And then we have our little yellow pieces for the center. Actually, I probably don't even have to because there's still adhesive in the center there. But all right, that is flower number 1. Now we're going to go to flower number 2. We're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take a glue dot, put it on the back. Actually, I put it on the back of the wrong one. You want the larger petal. There we go. Silly me. I think they're the same size, right? Oh, it's been a day. But we are going to line these up, right? So that's how you know you got the right petal, because it lines up so nicely that they're not all like on top of each other. But the instructions really don't tell you that. And it wasn't until later in my creating these that I'm like, oh, it was like an aha moment for me. All right, so we got that one done. And we got our last one to do. There we go. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, but anyway, I'll be able to unstick it. And we're gonna line that up so nicely. Line that up. Right. Take our little yellow piece. There's more than enough glue dot there. Maybe not. And I didn't put our little centerpiece in here. All right, so we have all of our flowers done. And we can bring our card base in. And we can start building. Again, we have our glue dot on the back. So this is just going to go approximately there. This one is going to go approximately there. And then this is going to go approximately there. Let's put our leaves in. We're just going to use my regular adhesive. Again, you can use your glue dots. And this is going to go probably more like that. Your three leaf image. It's going to go kind of like that. Take my 2-leaf image. Oh, wait a minute. Totally messed that up. All right, so your 3-leaf image is going to go on the bottom here. And then your 4-leaf die we're going to tuck that right around the edges there. Perfect. And then we're going to take our best wishes. And because it's going to end up sinking in and we don't want that, we're going to end up putting some dimensionals on that as well. And there you go. We have 1, 2, and 3 beautiful cards. So hold on. I want to share with you next month's craft along. So next month's craft along, you are going to get this stamp set with your craft along, and you're going to make 4 cards. You got more details coming out, but I'll give you a sneak peek. So you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. You're going to get a pack of embellishments. Again, this stamp set, all the die cut, pre-cut die cut, and you're going to get a package of these embellishments as well. You're going to be able to make 1 of each of these stamp sets. The stamp set is a $15 value along with all your other card stocks. And there'll be a registration link as well to sign up for that. That'll be marketed next week. So if you're not signed up to my newsletter, please do so. Or make sure that you join my Facebook group because these will definitely be shared and posted on there as well. I thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you thought my tips and tricks were very beneficial and enjoy your craft along. Have a great, great evening. Bye.